Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for subscribing to everybody that has subscribed to my channel. It's going to be a card today for a 50-year-old lady. One of my clients has asked me to make a card for her daughter-in-law. This is linen card. This is like a cream colour. It's 6 3/4 by 6 3/4. I've also pulled out this piece of scrap which was from a Christmas pad. And I'm going to be using this side. Some gold cardstock, some more of the linen cream cardstock, and I'm also going to be using this die and stamp set from Chloe's Creative Cards. Right, first up I'm going to get my card base, and I want a matting layer of gold, and I also want one with the cream. I'm not sure if this is going to be big enough, so I pulled this out of my scraps. Yes, it will. I'll make it fit. Yeah, I'll just have a bigger border than I thought. And then I'll have the gold. Actually, I'm going to have a gold underneath this, but I'm going to do this cream bit first, just so I can get the even border around the edge. So all I do, I don't usually measure. You'll know that if you've been here before. I just do it by eye, and I'll get that where I think it's even, all around the edge. You can measure if you want. But I'm just going to make a little mark there, and I'm going to get that cut off. Right, so that's that piece there done. Yeah, that looks good enough for me. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the panel and I'm going to place it, I'll do it the other side because I've got to mark the card. I'm going to place my panel on top of the gold card, and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to make a little border. I don't want it too big on this piece. About there. Make a little mark there and a little mark down there, just where I want to cut, just so it makes the border even down there to match those two. And I'm going to get that one cut. Right, so that's that cut. So let's just try this out. Sometimes I do have to take a little bit more off one end. I think I might take a little bit off one end, like up there, just to even it out a little bit. And then that's going to go on there. Let me just try this on here first. Yeah, that one's fine. Oh, maybe if I turn it around, maybe it's slightly out one way. Oh yeah, that'll do. Yeah, that's fine. So what I'll do now, I'll put a T up there, so that's the top. See which, oh no, I better keep it that way now. Put a T at the top of that one, just so I know where the tops are on these cards, because they might be slightly out in size to the base. Not quite even, but they look even. Next I'm going to take this piece, and I want a panel, and I'm going to make it around 2.5 by 5, I think. You'll see why in a minute. So I'll just get a piece cut out of that. Right, so that's 2.5 by 5 inches. It's all in inches. So I'm going to take my little panel of cream, and what this is going to do is go on my card like that with an even border, but I want a gold layer underneath. So I'm going to get a piece of gold, and I'm going to make my little layer to go underneath. I'm just going to do it the same as I did the rest. Just do it with the pen, mark with a pencil, just a little border around the outside. And so that's my gold cut, and then that one's going to go on there like that. Just try it with this card, make sure it's not too big. No, that'll be fine, I think. Yep, I like that. So that's going to go on like that. Right, next I've got this die. It's about 3 inches by 2. You can just cut this out on your trimmer, cut it by hand, whatever you want. But I'm going to cut it out with this die here. So I'll get that cut out. Now what I want to do, oh, saying that, Have I got enough? I might see if I've got another piece of that. If not, I'll have to go without that. I was going to put another layer of that behind that, but that's not wide enough now, is it? So I might have to, I'm just going to look, see if I've got any more of that left. If not, I'm just going to put a gold border around it. Right, I found my paper pad and I have got another sheet of that. So it's come from this one here, Paper Addicts Festive Looks. I think this is years old. I don't even know where I got this from, actually. Thecraftblog.com. I don't know. Haven't got a clue. Anyway, I'll take that out of there. So much for me using just scraps. I thought that would have been enough, but obviously it's not quite. So what I'll do, I want it that way. So I'll just cut a piece out of here a minute, and then I'll trim it down. Just easier to work with then. Right, I'm going to cut this down. I might as well do that side, I can't see the other side. So there's a small border. You're not going to see a lot of it, but I just want a little bit of a border around here before I put this onto the gold. Like that, I think. Cut it there, cut it there. I'll try that. Yep, that'd be fine. I do want a layer of gold as well. Sorry if this is glaring. Oh, that will be big enough so I can use that piece. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start get this together before I cut the gold, especially on this piece. So get my glue, and I just want to stick this flat. Right, what I want to do now is, because this die's got the little, I don't even know where it is now, it's got the little corners on it. With this pattern paper that's underneath, I just want to follow the line there. Just trim off the corners. Just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. I never get anything perfect anyway. Right, next I need another layer, and it's going to be gold. So I use that piece down there. Oh no, I've cut into that there, so I can't use that piece. It's going to have to be this piece. Little tip, if you've got tiny bits to cut off, instead of going up from the bottom or the top to come into the card, line your card up, keep it still, bring your blade onto the card first, stab it in, and then go up and down from there. That'll stop the card creasing up. Right, moment of truth, make sure I'm taking too much off. No, that'd be fine. So I'm going to stick this down flat as well. I'm going to use glue. You can use tape if you want on the gold card, because it does take a while to dry, or longer than it would if it was normal card. I just like using glue. I've got tape and everything. I just pick my glue up all the time. I always use the same glue for everything as well. I've got none of these speciality glues. Right, so that's that. I'm going to let that dry a little bit before I start cutting, because else this is going to slide. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to cut the ends off again. Just cut them down like that, just so it matches the rest. Right, so I'm going to put that to the side. I'm going to start putting this card together, but first because this is going underneath this piece of cream, I'm going to take the middle out just to save on some card. I mean, it's not expensive card anyway, but there's no point wasting it. So all I do, get rid of that, put it in my trimmer, go to 3/4 of an inch, I think. Bring your blade up, just cut up so far. Don't go too far because obviously you've got your little border, so you want to cut into that. I keep to 3/4 of an inch. I know I'm going to be safe. That's what I usually do. Just cut out the middle. If you haven't quite cut up, just nip it up like that. So then you've saved that card, so you can use this for something else. I can use this for something else on the card actually, because I'm going to be making some leaves in that out of gold. Right, time to stick this down. Start off with the gold. Make sure your card's facing the right way. I'm going to have mine 10th fold. Got my T at the top, so I know this is the right way to go on the card because it fits better that way. Yep, that's fine. Right, now for my cream piece. T's at the top. Next bit, sorry, I've got a frog in my throat today. This is going to go onto the gold. Oh, that's right. Doubted myself then. So this piece is going to go onto there. Do I put that on now or do I leave that to dry a little bit? I'll put it on now. Hopefully that other piece doesn't move on the gold. Get a nice even border around the 3 sides there. Make sure it's straight, like that. So that's that done. That's all I can do on there for a minute. So I'm going to put this under something just to keep it all down and let it dry while I start on the flowers. Right, this stamp set is a large stamp. So I'll get that off. Nice and sticky. It's also got the dies that are all together, so you can line it up and cut them all together. Oh. So let's get a piece of card big enough. Is that big enough? Yeah. Ow. Can't get them apart now. Don't know whether they're going to be in the way. I might have to take that off, them off. Let's get this down first. Which way should I do it? Is it that way, I think? I'll move those, I think. I might better get them around the ends. Get that on there. Oh, all I want is the flowers. I don't want all the leaves and things, but gotta make sure this stamps well. This is why I put it into my stamping platform just so I can stamp it a few times. I'm using Versamark, and it's the flowers I really want, so I'm not worried about the rest really. Give a good stamping with that, make it nice and sticky. Nearly forgot my powder. Stop any static. Right, give that a good squish. I'm going to be embossing these in Wow Polished Gold. This is just the regular. Right, just get my piece of paper. Give it a bit of a shimmy. Just make sure it gets on every angle. Tap. Oh, I think I can get away with it. I've got to do this twice anyway, so whichever's the best one I use on the top of the flowers, because I'm going to layer them up. So I think that'll be fine. So there we go. That's one. I've got to repeat this process over again. So I'll come back when I've done that, because you don't need to see me do that again. So that's both my flowers stamped and embossed. Get the dies and then get them lined up on here, which is that way. Right, I've decided I'm going to cut them out by hand because I didn't quite line them up properly, and I don't like the where you've got the rest of it around the edge coming into it, so I think I'm better off cutting them out by hand. So I'll get that done. There we go. And what I'm going to do now, get my little piece of fun foam that's folded in half. I'm just going to give these flowers a little bit of a shape. Right, now I'm going to stick them together. A little bit of glue in the middle, and then just offset them so the petals go in between each other like that. Just give them a push with your, well, with anything you got really, your finger. I'm just doing it on here just to shake them up a bit more. Hopefully they stick. I'm going to let these dry in a minute to make sure they do stick. Extra push down. Just makes it a bit harder with the embossing powder. So there's my pretty flowers. So use any stamps you've got, do exactly the same. Just cut them out by hand like I did. I thought it was going to be easier using the die, but it wasn't. So I should have remembered from last time. I think I did exactly the same. So right, put them aside. I'm just bringing this panel back in, and I'm going to do exactly the same as I did before. Line the scissors up and trim at the same angle as the other bits. trying to leave the same sort of border. There. Right, next I'm going to cut out this happy birthday in gold twice, and I'm also going to cut out this 50 twice. Oh, and I'm going to get a little T and a H as well for 50th. So, and I'm going to cut that out twice as well. So I'll get all these cut. Now all I've got to do is stick these together, just so they're a bit thicker. So, tiny bit of glue, you don't need a lot. It's more wiping the glue around, really. Feel you've got too much, just give it a little bit of a dab with your finger, and then line them up on top of the other one. Just make sure they're all in position. Right, so they're all nicely stuck together. The happy birthday is going to go on here. Just place them where you want them to go first. Want them about there. And stick them on. Now I've brought back in my card. That's all nice and stuck down. I always put a bit of glue on my foam pads. And this one here is going to go in the middle of this panel with the same sort of border at the end as that one. Same border top and bottom, which I'm only going to do it by eye, and that's going to stick right there, hopefully. That's straight. I think it's straight. Yeah. So that's that one on. It's looking pretty already. I've got my glue gun heating up. Right, with the 50, I'm just going to have it up in this corner, straight on the card. Sort of on an angle. And the T and the H. Something like that. Because I like it straight on the card there. I was going to put it on something like this, but I thought no, it's going to be too much with all the flowers and everything, so I'm going to stick it on there. So I've put them to where I want them, just so once they're stuck, I haven't got them in the wrong place. There. So now I've got my 50th on there. I like that, just straight on the card. I've just been playing around while my hot glue's been heating up. I think I'm only going to use 3 of the flowers. So the first one's going to be this big one, which is going to go down there. Like that. gives room for that one to fit in there, so it's not hiding the 50th. So that one can slide in there somewhere, like that. And I thought that one there could go in there. Or I could come around the corner here. No, I think I prefer it up there. I just tuck it in there somewhere. Like that. Right, so I've got this spare flower now. I was going to go down there, but then I thought, no, it's too much. I found these little flowers as well. I might use these as well, put them on in between bits and pieces. But first of all, I'm going to put the leaves on. So, just going to tuck some leaves in randomly. Bit of glue just on the bottom ones. Tuck that in there. Yep. That's better. Dab off any of the excess glue. So you left the ends of them loose. This one can come down from out of there. Like that. Right, do I need any more? What have I got here? Got that one there, that one there. Might have a little tiny bit coming out that top there. Just like that. Right, I'm going to leave that now for a minute. Right, I've got this little bunch of flowers here, which I got from a charity shop actually when I was away. Got them in Newquay. I'll show you actually, for £1.50. I got this box. It said flowers on it. And it held all these little flowers in. And the stamens. So for £1.50 I thought, yep, I'll have those. Got roses. So I've got them out of there. Always check your charity shops and your thrift stores, and you can always get a bargain. Usually with craft stuff, you'd be surprised what you find. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some random little flowers around. So these are on little wires. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, not with your best scissors, just cut the wires off so far up. Not all the way though, because you've got your little middle bit there, and you don't want that falling off. I'll just bend that back just so that stays in, and then I'll put these flowers randomly around. So I've got 1, 2, 3. I think I use 5. Nice odd number. If I don't use them, I can use them on something else. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. 5. Bend that around. Thought they went well with the card. Save them for something else. Throw them in the bin. Right, and I'm going to use hot glue to stick them on. Get rid of this wire a bit more. I'm going to put one down there. You will get glue strings using hot glue, but you just pull them off at the end. Can I get one in there? I think one in there would look nice if I can get it in. Yeah. There's got to be one there. Like that. One down there. Wish I put that in there now. Maybe I could put one in there. Or do I have it out here somewhere? No, I think I'll put it in there. Tuck that one up under there. There, I think that's enough. Well, I wasn't going to put anything in the middle of the flowers, but I pulled out these pearls. And I don't use the bigger ones very often, so I thought it might be nice to put them in here. That one might be a bit big. That one. Is that the right colour? The two that's very, they're like, one's more silvery and one's more creamy gold. And then you've got pink. Oh yeah, that's better. That's better sizes. Yeah, I might put those in actually. Do I? Yeah, I think they need something in the middle. I wasn't going to because I quite liked it as they were, but then I thought, no, I'm going to put them in. While my glue gun's still hot. Oop. Just stick them in with a bit of hot glue. Make sure they stay. Just stick that one in there. Oh, just tip that one upside down. Oh, this is where I'm getting a mess. Try again. Let's put a bit more glue in there. Got to put in enough glue to make sure it touches, because it sort of dips in the flower. Sometimes it's hard for any gems or pearls or things to grab. So you've got to sort of go a little bit overboard with the glue. in the middle. There. So there's my finished card. I'm glad I put those in now. Just finishes it off. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, I'd love it if you give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody that has already. And share with your friends or your crafty friends if you think they might like this video. And hopefully I'll see you again next time. If you push that little notification bell, that'll notify you when I post future videos. So hopefully see you next time. See you later. Bye.